Ooh. This is not what we want to see, especially going first. No action. This is only slightly better, but is nonetheless better. So we will keep. We will send away that forest. We're going to start with the guild gate here. So we'll have access to both our colors. Well, the nice thing is if our opponents get off to a slow start, these rams might be able to get in and be effective. Okay, so we're going to pass. Pass. My turn. Okay. So here's a gatebreaker ram. Getting our next gate would be lovely, but we'll see what happens. Skewer the critics. Nice piece of removal from our opponent. They're going to get in with 2 damage here. Okay, so we are going to... we're just going to play the... run back out our second gatebreaker ram here. And we got our bounce spells, so we might be able to start pushing through some damage if this one survives. Ooh. Our opponent opting with the 1/1 counter instead of sending them back. So, do we want to... What do we want to do about this Eric's? So we can trade the Gatebreaker Ram and put the Sauriform hybrid back in our opponent's hand and play out our own Sauriform hybrid. Might be worth doing. This card is scary. Okay, so let's go to attackers. Opponent probably smells a combat trick here, but let's see if they're going to make us use it. So we're going to go to damage. Wonderful. And then we'll play out Sauriform hybrid. And this might work out even better for us because it means we might get to trade our Sauriform hybrid for their Arinx instead of our Gatebreaker Ram. Deals 2 damage. Okay, so we'll do this to... We're going to do both. So we'll give this creature +1/+1, and then we'll return the Arinx to their hand. So now it's going to take 2 damage, but... So we traded our combat trick for their removal spell and set them back in tempo. That was a decent turn for us all around. We're going to go to combat. We'll attack with a ram. And then I think we're going to play out this Gyre Engineer because we really need to get some mana. So we know our opponent has his Arinx, but at least we'll be able to follow up with a Rampaging Rindhorn here in a second. Two damage, no blocks. Okay. Honestly, that's not the worst thing in the world for our opponent to spend their turn doing that. Because now what we can do is go to combat. Go to attackers. We're going to attack here and attack here. So we're going to hit them for 5. And then we are going to play out Steeple Creeper. And then we're going to play out Arrester's Admonition and send their their hybrid back. Draw our own card. So now they don't, they put all that mana into that turn, and now they don't have anything to see for that investment except an extra 4 damage. Okay, and so this is perfect. So our opponent has 2. So let's see. If we play out the Rindhorn, we get to attack with... We can attack with the Creeper and the Rindhorn. I think I want to save the Creeper. So we're going to play out the Rindhorn this turn. And save some mana because we can attack over the top of them with the Steeple Creeper. We're going to play it out with a 1/1 counter. And then no attacks this turn. So yeah, if they don't remove this Steeple Creeper, this very quickly can wind up ending the game. I just wanted to have a little bit of extra protection and some opportunity to be aggressive before we just start committing to this Steeple Creeper over the top. So let's see. I think this turn we attack with the Rindhorn and the Steeple Creeper. And we can give the Steeple Creeper flying. I'm afraid our opponent... So they pass the turn without casting anything. So actually what I think I want to do is I'm going to attack in with both of these. I'm not going to give flying. If our opponent wants to trade down, they can trade down. That's fine. But we can always play Aeromunculus, so we don't have to... Ooh, I forgot about that. They had the 6 mana. Okay. Yeah, that's a good play by them. Okay. So now, let's see, we have 6. So we can play our Aeromunculus, and we can play Silhana Wayfinder and look for this. So our board presence is still looking very good. Our opponent has to remove our flyer, or they're on a very quick clock. And then even if they do, then we have the Sphinx of the Foresight coming up. Okay. So our opponent is trying to stabilize, gain some life here. Let's see if they attack with their 6/6. They do. I don't mind chump blocking here. Okay, so now we can go to combat. One attacker. And then play our Sphinx of Foresight. Mammoth Spider from our opponent. That's a good play from them. A 6/6 and a 3/3. Opt out of attacking with a 3/3. So what do we want to do here? I don't think we want to chump block with a Sauroform hybrid because we can turn this into a 6/6 of our own. So I'm actually going to chump block with the Gatebreaker Ram here. Giving Scry. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we don't need this land. Got another one anyway. Opponent is doing a good job stabilizing. I would like to be able to adapt my Sauroform hybrid, but to be honest, I am afraid that they have something back there that's going to prevent that from happening. So if we attack in here, we can't just keep chump blocking. So we're gonna pass. The Sauroform hybrid is a real threat right now, and we gotta try to deal with it. Dagger Caster will deal 1 damage to each creature your opponent controls. So it's gonna kill my Gyre Sage. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now before my Gyre Sage dies. Okay. So now, I think I block here. Oh, that has Menace. So we block there and take 3. And okay, our opponent doesn't have a combat trick. Let's see. Tribal Boar, Territorial Boar. I don't think that does much for us here. Then again, neither does. Okay, no attacks. So this Mammoth Spider is legit. It just has perfect stats for shutting down flyers. I've yet to play a game where Mammoth Spider was not good. Opponent opting to give haste, so expect that attack to come here. I currently have some blockers lined up, but Savage Smash, okay. So we gotta fight. Yeah, so our opponent looks like they're gonna be able to steal this game from us. We're gonna block here because we need that to be dead. Can't block here. And our deck is not cooperating. So we are dead next turn. Give our opponent a good game here because that was well played. And let's go into sideboarding. Okay, so we have all of these cool commandos here. I wonder, so I think our Arrester's Admonition is a little worse against Gruul because they can just they can just play out their cards, and then if we bounce them back to their hand, they'll play them out again with haste. So I think our Coral Commanders might just be more effective here. Don't want another Mammoth Spider. Is there anything else bad here? Make sure we're not overstaying our welcome on the time. Gyre Engineer. I think I just want to take Gyre Engineer out for Commando as well. I really just want to have a nice, effective ground game where I can trade. Do we take out Swirling Torrent for Sky Tether? I feel like Swirling Torrent is just too good for like very limited removal like that. I don't know, it might be worth it. I think we are. I think we're taking Swirling Torrent out for Sky Tether. We'll see how much we get punished for that. We did have to take out some of the better cards in our deck, but I really think we just want to pair up with our opponent as best we can, and then make sure we have all the effective removal possible. We're not going to be able to be more aggressive than our opponent is. I think we have to keep this hand. We need one more land and it gets good. We have a 2-drop we can play. We have all our colors if we see Sky Tether. Okay, still looking for a land. Okay, got our 3rd land. We're going to go ahead and play out Territorial Boar. Okay. This is one of those few games where I wouldn't mind drawing a land just every single turn. Rubble Belt Runner is a nice card there. Can't be blocked by creature tokens. Do we want to go ahead and use our best removal on a 3/3? It's because we're falling behind. Use incubation to look for another 2/2, but that doesn't help us too much. I think we are. We're just going to Law Mage's Binding here. And then attack. This is a very aggressive creature that I'm not going to be able to deal with right now. Fortunately, still running a little bit behind on lands. Okay. Still running short on lands here. Pass turn. There we go. 4th land. Here we go. We're going to pass. So our opponent might be able to sniff out this Frilled Mystic here, but maybe we don't have the mana for it. Oops. Okay, so that was a punt on my part. Sure. Resolve. So that means we're going to use Incongruity here just to wind up saving on this mana, and I don't want to deal with the 6/5 anyway. So we're going to do that. Our turn. So for 5 mana. Okay. Play out Mammoth Spider here, and no attacks. Mammoth Spider is great if it survives, but not at all confident that it's going to survive right here. I'm paging Rindhorn from our opponent. See if they have any attacks. No attacks. So we have 4 or 5 mana. I think we just want to start filling the board with creatures with decent toughness. I worry about taking another turn off here to hold Frilled Mystic open. No attackers. Just because it gets very apparent after a little bit. And I really do need to start filling out the board here. Okay. So I think we double block here. And then let the rest go through. And we'll see if our opponent has a trick. maybe some argument to be made for just blocking with everything and throwing the territorial boar out there as well. Wouldn't have been too much damage, chance of just a total blowout with that. I don't know, our opponent is playing black, so they could have had Blade Brand, and then that would have given it Death Touch, and then they would have just been able to wipe our whole board. So, probably the better play there. Mammoth Spider of their own. And a Gravel Hide. Okay, so do we play another Mammoth Spider? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't have enough to play 2 spells. So I think we just make the most efficient play. We'll play out our own Mammoth Spider. And still trying to shut down our opponent's attacks here. Stumbling with land early in the game has definitely set us back a little bit, but we still have a potential. It's not what we like to see from our opponent, though. I'm committing to the all-out attack. So we gotta pair up the territorial boar here. Block here, block here. If they have burning bright, burning light, there's not much we can do about that in any case. Getting punished for not reading the card here. This was our opponent able to pump. Let's see if they have a follow-up. Then a fight. Okay, so finally got another land, but I don't think that it matters too much. So we play out territorial boar. So we got to be able to double block here. Here, I think we pass. We're going to hold up Field Mystic. Okay. Whoa. So I think that was a misclick on my part, because now we're going straight to dying in combat. Yep. Oh, that's frustrating. So I guess I auto-passed at the end of the turn. I don't know why we went right into declare blockers there before I had a chance to respond. Doesn't matter. I don't think we were coming out of that game. So go ahead and concede to our opponent here. Oh. So a little bit of misclicks and bad running might have cost us there at the end. But overall, pretty good draft today. We won back our entry fee, took care of a couple of our dailies out here, and won some packs. So let's go crack our pack and see what we have in store for us. Finished off one of our wild cards and a Judith Scourge Diva. Other creatures you control get +1/+0, and whenever a non-token creature you control dies, the Scourge Diva, Judith the Scourge Diva deals 1 damage to any target. So potential for some Aristocrats style deck. Maybe once we get our collection filled out a little bit from doing the draft and the sealed events, we might go and make some constructed decks and try around with those. Oh, didn't claim our prize. Here we go. Look at that. I thought that was a little short. Let's go check these other 4 packs and see what we get from those. Precognitive Perception. 5 mana, draw 3 cards, or if you do it on your main phase, scry and then draw instead. Not a great card. I'm not super excited about that one as a rare. But Kaya Orzhov Usurper. Really interesting planeswalker here. She's a 3 mana planeswalker. Her +1, you get to exile up to 2 cards from a single graveyard, and you gain 2 life if at least 1 creature card was exiled this way. -1, you get to exile target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less. And then -5, Kaya Orzhov Usurper deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards that player owns and exile. You gain that much life. So her +1 is great against, I guess, for graveyard control, some graveyard hate there. So pretty interesting. Her -1 is good for taking care of tokens that your opponent has. And then her -5 requires a lot of setup cost, but can do a lot of damage. I don't know, just a strange card to have. Would love to see if she winds up getting play, if she winds up filling out a sideboard somewhere, if somebody makes some great jank decks to take care of her -5, because she does get very close to ultimating, but I don't know, not wonderful. As a side note here, Flames of the Razeboar, 6 damage. Flames of the Razeboar deals 4 damage to target creature an opponent controls, and then 2 damage to each other creature that player controls if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. This card is amazing and limited in draft and sealed, whichever that you're playing. You're going to be able to take out one of your opponent's creatures and probably hit several other creatures on the board as well. All this at instant speed. So great card. Very first pickable. Prime Speaker Vanifar. Really interesting effect here. You get to sacrifice another creature, then search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So basically, every time you sacrifice a creature, you get to get any other creature out of your deck that equals up to 1 more. So turns your whole deck into a toolbox where you can go and search out whatever you need. I've already seen some decks in Standard playing around with Vanifar. So very powerful effect on a creature here. I expect to see a lot of her in play. Maybe even in Commander 2. Well, I imagine definitely in Commander 2. Angel of Grace, flash flying when it enters the battlefield until the end of your turn. Damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. So the emergency red button you can hit against aggro decks to save you for a turn. And then if she goes to your graveyard, you can pay 6 mana to exile her, and your life total becomes 10. So a couple hoops to jump through, but it is possible that she can be your saving grace in a moment of need. So another interesting card here. Potential sideboard for Angels. Boros Angels is tier 2 deck going around. That is a thing. But thank you guys for joining us here today. Just a reminder before we say goodbye, you can find us pretty much anywhere on the internet at SGC Wachula. We're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we are on Twitter, Instagram. So pretty much anywhere you want to go, you can find us by looking up, again, SGC Wachula, all one word. Once again, I am TJ with Sanctuary Gaming Club. Hope you guys have a great day. Just remind you, wherever you go, just be the community wherever you are. With that, bye-bye.